Good morning and welcome to episode 12 of the This Nanny Knits knitting podcast. My name is Lucy and I'm back. I've had a little break. My husband and I have moved house. Everything has been a little bit chaotic. We have been in boxes. We still are in a few boxes, but we're getting there. I wanted to be able to sit down and record because it's really strange. I never thought that I would miss it. Like, I obviously enjoy it, but it's really weird how much once you get into the rhythm of doing it, then you miss actually sitting down and just rambling on about your knitting. So, I'm back. I'm going to have a sip of water. And I'm ready to get straight into it. We have got a mishmash background right now, purely because this is the spare room, as Dan calls it. As I call it, this is the yarn room. It will be my yarn room. Dan just isn't aware of that yet. No, he is. It's going to be yarn room / spare room. We have agreed until I take over. But you didn't hear that if you're watching, Dan. Yes, so this will be where I record and do all of my knitting stuff, where I Zoom with friends. I just need to get it organised, and it is a little bit more organised than it was. So this is the best background we could get. I hope my neighbours don't think I'm crazy. I'm sat in front of the window because it gives off the best light on this cloudy day. And so I'm just hoping that not many people are looking out of their window thinking, why is that crazy lady sat there talking to her phone? But hey, what can you do? You've got to get the best light in. I should have said already, but I haven't. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, then thank you very much for coming back. You can find me over on Instagram as This Nanny Knits, over on Ravelry as This Nanny Knits, and obviously here on YouTube. Links to everything that I talk about will be down below in the show notes, and there might be details of things that I did forget to talk about, but everything will go down below. I think today we should just get started. I have got some finished objects and obviously I have some works in progress because that's always going to be the case. Let's start with, whoa, I have to be careful. I've got a candle on here. I've got all the autumn vibes. Let's start with my Ranunculus. It's still not finished, guys. I know, I hear you say, moving is way more stressful than I remember from doing it last. We had 2 weeks off and I thought I'm going to get so much done, like knitting wise, and it just didn't happen. There's obviously lots of other things that take priority. However, we are close, guys. We are close. So, I don't know if I showed it last time, but my Ranunculus. See, this gives you the perfect, this window with the light coming through gives you the perfect representation of this colour. So you can't really see it very well because it's all a little bit bunched up. But yes, this is my Ranunculus. I have almost finished the body. I'm doing it a little bit longer than the pattern because I tried it on when I got to the length it says in the pattern and it was really cropped, and I mean really cropped. There's no way I could have worn it like that. And I have an extra skein of this yarn, so yarn isn't an issue. I'm not going to play yarn chicken or anything, so I thought let's just go for it. Let me tell you about the yarn. So firstly, oops, this is what I've got left of my first skein, so still a fair amount. But I am using the John Arbon Textiles Devonia 4-ply yarn, which is 50% Exmoor Blueface, 30% Blueface Leicester and 20% Wensleydale. So it's 100% Devonshire wool and it's in the colour Ocean Rain. So the Ranunculus pattern, if you don't know, is a one size fits all. I mean, I think throughout the pattern there are a few adaptations if you needed to make the bust bigger and, you know, but as a general rule it isn't sized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many it goes up to. So it does call for quite a loose gauge. I think it calls for 6mm needles, but I did swatch for this and I didn't like the material that a 6mm needle gave me, and also I didn't want it to be really oversized. Sometimes I think when I personally wear oversized things, I just look like I bought something that's 2 times too big. 2 sizes too big, not 2 times too big. You know what I mean. I don't know, it just looks like a sack on me. So I decided to go down a needle size. I did the smaller neckline. There are 2 necklines to choose from. You can choose from the narrower one, or there's a much wider one. So I chose the narrower, and I did use, what needle am I using now? Yeah, so I used a 5mm for the neckband, only because I wanted to do it in a small circumference, so I ordered a 9-inch and I could only get it in a 5 at the time. I couldn't get it in a 5.5. But as soon as my needles would allow, with the extra stitches, I changed to a 5.5, which is what I'm using now for the rest of the body. I'm using my ChowGoo interchangeable needle set that I love. It's the red lace. And yeah, I am really enjoying this one. It does seem to have really dragged on for me, which I guess is fine because it's not a chunky yarn, it's a 4-ply. And so I'm not going to be chucking this on in the winter to keep warm. Maybe in the house, but it's not going to be my go-to for warmth, let's say. So it doesn't really matter that I'm not done with this, because I probably won't wear it now until it gets a little bit warmer. But yes, I would like to have the body done by the time I podcast next time. I think I said that last time, but it just hasn't been the case. I had tried it on, and I've put a progress keeper in here where I tried it on last, and I think I needed to do a couple more inches from this point before I start the rib. So that's the plan, and then I will try it on again, which brings me to an acquisition. So it's all a little bit out of order, but I wanted to share it with you because this is how I have been using this acquisition to try this on. So normally when I'm making a garment and I want to try it on, I faff around and I take the needles off and I put it on and add on an extra cord. Or do you know, actually I just get Dan to hold the needles and I try it on and I'm like, don't let any stitches fall off. But it is a bit of a pain and it's very squishy, and I'd probably cry if I did lose some stitches. So when I went to London with my friend Kristen, we went to Beautiful Knitters and I found this little tin. Now I'd already known about these because they're going around at the moment, and I think people have been calling them TBK cords, TBX cords, something like that. And it's basically a tube. So the colours I chose are pink and purple, shocker there, and it's a teeny weeny, I don't know if you can see really, it's like a teeny weeny tube, a bit like a straw, but it's one big length. And so basically, sorry if you can hear that, that is a train passing by. Funny story, when I came to view this house, I had no idea the railway line was right there. I get really disorientated quite quickly and I'm not very good at direction, and I could literally walk somewhere and probably not even find my way back. That's how bad it is. And so when I came to view this house on my own, side story, yeah, I obviously didn't hear a train in the 15 minutes I was here, and who knew when we moved in that we would be that close. But I mean, it's fine, we're used to it already and we've only been here just over a week. But yeah, I don't know if that will pick up in podcasts, which is going to be quite annoying. But anyway, so you attach the cords, the tubes, to either end of your needle and you give them a really good push on, and they are snug. You can literally pull them and they do not come off. You have to give them a real good tug to get them off. So then you can shimmy, let me show you, shimmy some stitches onto them. And I believe you can order these online through Beautiful Knitters or probably other places, but this is where I got mine. you can shimmy them onto the cord now, so you can see that my needles finish here and I've got this cord. So I can now just put that over my head, because it's massive circumference, I probably didn't even need to use that cord, and try it on. And then when I've tried it on to figure out how much more I want to knit or whatever, I can literally just shimmy the stitches. Well, what I tend to normally do is pull the cord a little and then shimmy the stitches back onto the needle. So that's that side done. And then the same on the other side. Not very easy to show you because it's down in my lap. But you shimmy the stitches back on and voila, you're done. There's no faffing, you don't have to put on waste yarn. It's just amazing, like mind-boggling. And then to get them off, I just give them a twist and a pull and they come off. So in each tin you get a long one, which is for the body, and then I believe, I haven't undone these yet, you get 2 short ones. So you can use, sorry, it's the rattling around, you can use these in a pattern. If you're doing a top down and it says put your sleeve stitches on hold, you can use these, and then they come with these little stoppers and you can put each end of the cord through there and they will stay on the cords, which is amazing. And I haven't got to use yet because I'd already put the sleeves for the Ranunculus on waste yarn before I got these, but I will definitely be giving that a go on my next project. So I highly recommend investing in these. It just makes the process so much easier and more enjoyable, and then I'm less likely to just wing it, because to be honest, I hate all that faffing and changing needles over, and sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, that looks about right, and then obviously it never is, and yeah. Anyway, my Ranunculus, the body will be finished. The next time I see you guys, it will be finished. The arms won't, the sleeves won't, but the body. That's WIP, work in progress, number 1. Funny story again, side note. My parents were watching my latest podcast when they were on holiday. Well, my mum really, but she was obviously with my dad. And she was like, oh, come sit down, I'm going to watch Lucy's podcast. And he was like, oh, do I have to? Like, he's not the least bit interested in knitting at all. And when I said WIPs for work in progress, he was like, what? What kind of podcast is this? Don't worry, Dad, it's strictly knitting related. But I thought it was quite funny. Mum was like, don't be so silly. Okay, next, because this could be lengthy. I'm in a chatty mood, can you tell? And it's been a while, so there's obviously going to be a lot to tell you. Next is socks. These are, I think I've shown these previously and I haven't really worked on them much. I have the past couple of days, but not a great deal. They're socks for WMAS. We'll talk more about that later if you don't know what that is, but this is the sock. I think I'm about ready to do the heel. I think I've got one more round. And I'm loving this yarn so much. I've got a really loose cuff. I don't know what happened there, but I think it will be fine so long as the other one looks similar. The yarn is Regia 4-ply and I really like it. This yarn was very kindly donated by one of our viewers for socks for WMAS, and I've only got one skein in here. It is which one is the colour number? I never know. I think it's 05025 is the colour number. I think the other one is the lot number. But I'll link it down below. I like this yarn. I used to have not a dislike, but I used to much prefer hand-dyed yarn over commercial yarn. But I'm slowly transitioning. I love hand-dyed yarn, and it definitely will always be part of my knitting. But I'm really enjoying some commercial yarn, and I think because when I started I probably used cheap commercial yarn. Stuff you probably find in your hobbycraft and whatever, which is great for certain projects, but I thought that was all that was available. That's when I found hand-dyed yarn and instantly fell in love. But you lovely lot out there are making me realise that there is also some lovely commercial based yarn out there, which I'm really enjoying. So this is only sock number 1. I need to work on this to get this finished. This is going to be my out and about knitting with the girls for the rest of the week. I didn't tell you, knitting these on ChowGoo 9-inch 2.25 needles. So I'll probably get the heel done today. They're at ballet, and yeah, they're living in this bag. Pair of socks. Sorry, I think I just bashed the microphone. Hopefully that didn't make too much of a sound. My last work in progress. So I have others, but they're packed away. So these are ones that I've literally been working on. Anything else that I have that I've previously mentioned that is a whip has had nothing. No attention, no love. Yeah, but I've got boxes all here of just stuff, and that is my task one night this week, is to get some of that done. So I, over the past month and a bit, apparently have signed up to every single test knit available, and more about that later, but this is one of them. I was absolutely honoured, and I did tell you actually last time that I am going to be test knitting the first sweater for Lizzie over at Hive Knits, and I'm super duper excited. I'm not behind, but I'm behind everybody else because I was trying to get my other test knits done first so that I could then concentrate on this, and I will probably mostly monogamously work on this now. The deadline is Boxing Day for my size. So I know I'll get it done. I'm just like seeing everybody else's, and I mean, I think somebody's finished already, which is incredible, and I'm getting really jealous because I want mine to be finished, so I need to obviously put more work into it. This is going to be my Christmas Day jumper, I think. So let me show you. I've just pulled it out of the bag and the mohair is like tickling on my nose. So this is held with a strand of 4-ply and a strand of mohair together, and this is, I know it's a bit lame, this is as far as I have got, but it has got this beautiful double folded collar, which I love. So that's obviously rib. You knit for X amount and then you fold it in half and you knit 2 together from the live needle with the cast on edge, and you get this lovely folded brim. And I think I'm on just the last row now of the shawl rows. So this is the back here. So you can see that this bit is longer because it's got the short rows. They go back and forth, and you won't be able to tell, but you've got this half fisherman's rib. Oh yeah, you can, at the sleeve. So these are my raglans, my increases, and then the half fisherman's rib has just started to show. And then the rest of it is, well, you can't really see that, I'll show you the short row bit. The rest of it is stockinette. This is so soft, like baby soft, and I cannot wait to finish it. And I know I haven't got very far, but I think as soon as I split for the sleeves, the body will just whiz by. And then I know the sleeves are going to take a bit of time. The half fisherman's rib, if you don't know, this is the first time I've done this technique. Every round you knit twice, basically. So it does take a little bit of time. That's how you get those large V's in the columns. So this is going really well, albeit slow, but really well. I had to go down a needle size to obtain gauge, so I'm knitting this on a 3.5mm needle, which for you, those of you in the US, I'm sorry, I always forget to tell you, is a 4. And I'm using my ChowGoo interchangeables. As always, if I can, then I will. And the yarn I am using is Filcolana Arwetta Classic in the colourway Bordeaux, or 245 if you're using numbers. Held together with Drops Kid Silk Mohair in also the colour Bordeaux, or 36 if you are so inclined to use numbers. So yeah, these held together, stunning combo. I didn't think it through that well. I love this colour right now. I do have quite a few things that I've bought recently in this colour, so I'm clearly going through a phase. But it can be quite dark to knit with of an evening, so thank goodness for my BenQ light, because I've been sat downstairs kind of really trying to see where I'm going and what I'm doing, but it will be stunning, I'm sure. So these were the recommended yarns. Obviously Lizzie doesn't have the total yardage and everything yet, because that's what Test Knitters also include for her, but I think I needed 7 of each ish for the sweater, so we'll see how that pans out. I was very good, and I did make a swatchy swatch for this, because obviously it's really important when you're test knitting that you get gauge, because you obviously want to be able to give good feedback for the pattern. So I did a small swatch. I did it in the round, so this is my stockinette portion, this is my half fisherman's rib, my half fisherman's rib portion, and then I cut the ends once I had done it in the round and laid it out flat to dry, and yeah, perfect on 3.5, got the gauge that I needed. So watch this space. Next time, I find it really useful to make these goals. Next time I see you, I will have split for the sleeves for sure. As I say, this is going to be my main project in the house. The socks will be portable, and then yeah, the ranunculus I can work on a little bit here and there, not have too much focus on it, but I also need to make some progress, because I think I've learned in the past couple of months that I don't like having too many whips. I'm finding it really overwhelming, and I said this last time, I'm just working a little bit on each one and seeing absolutely no progress. So I think going forward, like 2 or 3 whips for me is plenty. I'm going to have another sip of water. I do have one other whip to show you, but it's a little bit pathetic. So in my last episode, I showed you my Shawlography, clue 1, well, part of clue 1, and I didn't like it. So I was ripping back and I was starting again. So let me show you. Sorry, it's in a basket down here. One moment, please. Let me show you what I had. So if you are doing the Shawlography, you are probably finished, as most people are, because it is over. But if you have not, and you have not seen clue 1, I'm sure you have, but this is your warning, look away now. So this was clue 1. You started with the semicircle, and then you use short rows to do these kind of triangular bits to make it into this semicircle. So this isn't blocked, but you can imagine when it's blocked and stretched out that you're really going to see those colours. I didn't really listen to Stephen, I think. I don't know why. I was on a Zoom call with friends and we were all casting on together and we were choosing our colours, and it was that Friday that the first clue came out, and he said something about choosing your lightest or darkest colour as colour A. And I didn't. I chose yellow. And I have no idea why. I don't even remember what happened. It wasn't until I got partway through this and I was like, I'm not sure about this. And I thought, why did I go with the yellow? That's not my lightest or my darkest colour. So obviously my 5 colours were this aubergine, purple, which you can't really see very well, the yellow, the reddy colour, the grey, and the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So I told you I was going to restart, and I was going to use the grey as my colour A. And I did. I really did start. Oh no, hold on, I'm in a tangle in my basket. Nothing worse, is there? I did start, but this is as far as I got. Because then everybody was overtaking me, obviously, and we were moving and I was trying to work on some test knits, and now I'm obviously super duper far behind. Most people have finished and now I don't even know whether to make it. I really want to, because I want to learn, well, I've done a few of the techniques, but I want to be able to incorporate those techniques into one pattern and I want to, because I started Shawlography last year, I don't really want to have a gap, because I intend to do it again next year and probably every year. But I don't know, I can't help but think the moment's gone and it's a little bit too late. So I don't know what I'm going to do, in all honesty. My priority is going to be the first sweater, and I'm going to keep this on my needle just like this and see how I feel. It's all just sitting in my basket right now. It's not doing any harm sitting in there. I don't need the yarn for another project that I have in mind straight away, so I think it's just going to stay there, and I'm going to see how I feel probably after Christmas now. That really seems like it's, yeah, the moment has passed. But then I don't even know what I would use the yarn for, because they're all different colours, not necessarily colours that I would put together for anything other than a crazy Stephen West mystery knit along. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you think the moment has gone and it's now too late to carry on and just rip it out and wait till next year? Or do you think it's never too late? I mean, I know people don't knit it as a mystery. I know people wait until after the pattern's out and then decide whether they like it or not, and then start knitting it, but I don't know if that's me. I was having fun losing the race. I definitely lost the race. Everyone else has finished in the group, I think. Mostly. I think Anina is still going, but she's almost there. For those of you that don't know, in my last episode, I mentioned that we had there's a few podcasters here on YouTube that had a little group, and we were talking about Shawlography, and we were having a knot race. Definitely lost that knot race. Where's this come from? Oh, my Ranunculus, I think. Okay, so that's it for works in progress. But I have some finished objects, which well, okay, that's kind of true. I have some finished objects, and then I have a partially finished object to show you. So the lovely Laura over at Pen Nose. Oh my goodness, that serves me right for trying to talk too fast. Let's try again. The lovely Laura over at Penrose Knits on Instagram, and the Knitting Pickle here on YouTube was calling for test knitters for her school run collection. So she had made this beautiful hat with this picot edging and a triple folded brim, and I loved it. I instantly put my name on the list and said yes please. My intentions were to make them for me and the girls, so we would be matchy for the school run, which I think is still my intention. I just haven't got that far. So I put my name down for the hat and for the mitts. And I have a hat. I'm going to put it on to show you. Okay. I think I just have quite a small head. I was going to say, I don't know if I knit it a bit too long, but what do you think? I look really funny straight on with the hat, but it's got this beautiful picot edging along here, and this triple folded brim. I love it. It's so warm around your ears. I haven't worn it yet because I wanted to keep it pristine for the podcast so that I could show you guys, because knowing me, I would drop it in a puddle or something and then it would be super dirty, although it can just chuck in the wash. But I love it. So you can make the hat like this with a single point for the crown, or you can make it so it's a bit more square and it's got a double point, and then you can do two little pom-poms, which I think is really cute for the children. I haven't decided which version I'm going to make for the girls. I might just make it like this and put a pom-pom on for them so that we are, I don't know, I think the double pom's really cute for babies and toddlers, but I think now that they're children, probably not as, I don't know, haven't decided. But the stunning school run hat by Laura. So you'll see a theme going on here. I made this with Filcolana Arwetta in the classic, and I've thrown the tag away. That was really bad of me, wasn't it? I did have it here. I I think it's rose, the colour. I'll find it and put it down below for you. So it's held double throughout the pattern and knit on, oh my goodness, Lucy. Knit on, I'll put it here. I can't remember because I did the mitts as well and then I did something else. I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's been too many projects. But I'm loving it. I absolutely love it. And this picot edge is just so cute. I think I'm going to wear this afternoon on the school run because it's really cold here. And now I can because I've shown it to you. So I'm not going to put a pom on mine, I don't think. I've got quite a lot of hats with poms on. I just think I'm going to have one without. So here's my crazy hat here. Sorry, I keep looking at myself just because, yeah, I was trying to see what the hat looks like. So that was finished object number 1. I absolutely highly recommend, because the yarn is held double. It's also a super quick knit. It's like a DK. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was kind of doing not really complicated things, but I had a lot of things going on that needed a bit of focus, and this was some really nice kind of like easy TV knitting. I don't want it to sound horrible, like easy, but do you know what I mean? Like, didn't have to think too much about it. It was a really good pattern. It would be amazing for beginners. Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, I didn't weave my ends in. Oh, I shouldn't have opened that and you wouldn't have known. I'm just gonna literally fold that back down, fold that back up, and you'll never know. That's so bad of me. My goodness, Lucy. Anyway, the school run hat. Thoroughly recommend. Laura's made it in a really nice brown colour and it's giving me all the autumn vibes. So I definitely want to maybe make it in another colour too. And then secondly, the mitts. So I have a slight confession. I only have one mitt finished, which is ridiculous because my hands on the school run this morning were freezing. So I'm gonna, when I finish podcasting, I'm gonna finish my second one. Ta-da! It's far from perfect, I think. So I'll explain. You knit the cuff in one strand. You do the picot edging around the cuff and you knit it together with the cast on edge to get the folded cuff, which is why you do it single, because once it's folded it's then double. And then for the rest of the hand you hold 2 strands together, so it's double, and then again with the cuff and the picot edge up here you hold it single. Now I think there's a bit skew-whiff when I folded it over and knitted them together because it has got a slight lean to it, but nobody else would know. I love them, absolutely love them. The thumb doesn't have picot because that would be quite a challenge, I think, with such a small circumference, but stunning. I can't say anything else about them. I just love them so much. And I said I haven't done this one, and that's mostly true because all I have left to do is the thumb and sew this. So on this one I did the picot edge in and then I folded it over and I sewed it. I didn't sew it. I knitted it together with the cast on edge to get the fold. For some reason when I went to do this one I was just having a lot of trouble, and it does say in the pattern that you can choose to do it after. So I'm doing this after. I'm just going to fold it over and sew it up and do a thumb. And then I have a pair of mitts, which is very exciting. So you heard it here. This one is going to be finished today. Again, I was very good and I tried to be a very good test knitter and I swatched for this. So that was my mini swatch. And then we did a secret test knit. Felt like such a elite group of people. It was secret. And Laura had what's the word I'm looking for? Created a headband to match. So this is the whole school run collection. You've got the hat, the mitts and the headband. Yay! So obviously I was like, yes please. I mean, do I need another test knit on my needles? Because at this point I had 5. No, I don't, but I'm absolutely going to, because you can't do half of a collection or 2/3 of a collection. Ta-da! What do you think? Now, I have a question, because I think I've seen most people wear them like this. Is this how you wear it? Do you wear the knotty bit at the front? Because I've tried it at the side and it looks a bit weird. So I think at the front, and this, oh my gosh, it's super warm as well. Now I can't decide, am I going to wear the hat on the school run later or the headband? The choices. It's the first world problem, isn't it? Really. But can't recommend these enough. This was the most simple out of them all, because you're basically, without giving the pattern away, you're basically knitting a very big, long, long rectangle, and then sewing it all together in the appropriate places. So thank you so much to Laura for letting me test knit her patterns. I love them. I want to test knit everyone's patterns. I just love test knitting. So there's the headband too. Stay tuned to the end of the podcast, because I have some news about a giveaway that Laura has very kindly let us do here over at This Nanny Knits. So that's the school run collection. I'm going to have another sip of water. And, oh, sorry, apparently banged my water on the table. And I'm going to pop these over here because I need some space. And these, because these are done with too. Okay, my last test knit, which I had trouble with, quite a lot of trouble with in the beginning, but the lovely Hannah over at Herb Garden Knitwear was so helpful. I had a lot going on, and I don't know, my brain just wasn't engaged at all. I was having a real struggle trying to get the pattern like in my head. I can't even explain it now. It seems so simple. But I test knitted a shawl for her. She reached out and said, the test knit is open. If you'd like to take part, I would love you to. And obviously I said yes, because I can't help myself. But actually this is going to be really useful. A really useful piece to wear, which I'll talk about in a minute. But here it is, finished in all of its glory. Hopefully you can see that lovely pattern, and then it's got this beautiful rib along the bottom. I'm hoping you can see this, because I can't see what I'm showing you at all. It is so stunning, and I won't put it on to show you because I will knock the microphone. But for this I used West Yorkshire Spinners the Croft Shetland, and I used Oliberry. I will pop the link to my Ravelry page down below for this, because I can't even remember what size needles I used. This is a Aran weight yarn, I believe. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Because I didn't know. So when Hannah messaged me and I said, oh, what yarn does it require? Let me see if I have anything. And like what yarn weights. And I didn't know that over in Germany, where she is based, they don't use yarn weights. I guess they just use the yarn for the, I don't know. They just don't use yarn weights. So she wasn't able to tell me what the exact yarn weight was, but she gave me an idea, and she said, I think it could be an Aran. So I got some and I swatched, and yeah, this worked perfectly. I love the colour. Sorry, there's another train. I mean, I love this house and it was a great move, but for podcasting, maybe not so much. Anyway, I'm going to just keep talking and hope that I'm loud enough for you to hear me and not the train. So I love this colour. I asked you over on Instagram whether I should use this colour or a burnt orangey colour, and you chose this colour, which was a great colour to choose. So yeah, I love this shawl. I have worn it a couple of times already. I just love this as well, this really deep rib at the end, really just kind of finished it off. And because you go from pattern to the rib, you get these kind of unintentional, I think, eyelets, or maybe they are intentional, I don't know. I don't know if that was an intentional part of the pattern, but the lovely Hannah was so patient with me because, as I said, I was having a bit of trouble figuring out the pattern because it's a row repeat and then you have to work in pattern, but you've got increases and decreases, so you basically have to line up the stitch pattern from the previous row. And bless her, she must have been like, wow, you're a knitter, are you sure? But we got there in the end and I created this beautiful shawl, and I'm very grateful because this Friday I have something important going on in the family, and I've picked a dress. I went shopping, I bought a dress, and it's navy and it's got pinky purpley flowers on it, and this is going to be amazing to go with it. So I think I'm going to wear this, and it's now really cold here in the UK, so that will be amazing to wear with that. But whilst we're on that subject, how do you wear your shawls? Do you wear them as a shawl, kind of like draped over your shoulders, or do you wear it, I normally wear them like triangular at the front and then wrap them behind and then bring the tails forward. Tails? Like the ends. I hope you know what I mean, these bits. I'd do it, but I'm going to knock the microphone, and I don't really want to do that because that's really annoying when people do that. So that's that. I used 4 skeins of, I didn't even tell you really, sorry. These were 100 gram skeins and they had 166 meters, 182 yards for you that work in yards. 100% Shetland wool. I used 4, this is what I had left. I think this is 39 grams. Pretty sure. And I don't really know what I'm going to do with it because I don't really have any Aran weight yarn. But I'll keep hold of it. It'll make something one day. I'm a bit of a yarn hoarder. I don't really want to throw anything out unless it's like a tiny, tiny scrap. But most of the yarn I use is fingering, so then it can just go into one of my scrappy things. Anyway, enough about that. Waffling on again. Nothing ever changes around here. So they are my finished objects and my works in progress. What else do I need to tell you about? Socks for WMAS. I said I would come back to that. So we are still helping out Jeanette, who is a viewer here on the podcast. Her aim was to knit 500 pairs of socks for the West Midlands Ambulance Service for Christmas. So thank you all so much for your parcels. I have had a lot of socks come in the post before the move. Yeah, so many turned up, which was amazing. So thank you all so very much. I have too many pairs now to show on the podcast because it's been so long. I have like a month's worth of socks and I'm going to be here all day. But my plan is, before I send them out to Jeanette, I am going to try and get a big group picture of them all and really help her to hit that target. So if you are a sock knitter and you still want to take part, we are coming to a close really, so it's November, mid-November now. They need to be with me really by the beginning of December. I think I said the 1st of December initially. I have a little bit of wiggle room on that, but I do need to get them into a box and send them to Jeanette in time for Christmas. So if you would like to, then that would still be amazing. We would still really appreciate them. Please put your name and contact information within your parcel so that I can enter you in for prizes for the giveaways, and please message me for my address. I have set up a PO box on that note, but it takes 7 days to clear and I wasn't very organised, so I am waiting for that to be set up and to get the all okay from the Royal Mail here, and then they will give me the PO box address, which I can then share with all of you. But for now, please send me a message if you need my address, and please share them over on Instagram with the hashtag socks for WMAS. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to donate any prizes to the giveaway, that is also very much appreciated. We will love that. The more prizes we can give out at the end, the better, and I'm so thankful to all of you for taking the time and spending your money on yarn and things to knit them. So I'm very grateful. I wish I could give you all prizes, but that's probably not likely. There are so many. Yeah, I think that's that for socks for WMAS. I guess if you haven't been here before, actually, they need to be a full length sock. They can't be a shorty sock, and by full length I just mean a standard length leg sock. They can be of any foot size, shoe size. Jeanette's accepting ranges of all sizes because obviously there are a lot of people in the West Midlands Ambulance Service and they're going to go to good use. I think that's it for that. Podcast recommendations. I haven't been watching any new podcasts. What with the move, we still don't have Wi-Fi here. It should be coming this week. So I don't have podcast recommendations, but I am going to list some of my favourites and my go-to ones down below. I'm not going to sit here and rattle them off to you because we could be here a while. There are quite a few people that I really like to keep in touch with and listen to their podcasts. So check out down below if you need some to watch. I think that brings us into acquisitions. I have a few, but I'm going to have a sip of water first because I've been rambling on. Okay, what should we start with? Let's start with this amazing package. So, my lovely friend Whitney over at Knitted by Whitney, she's here on YouTube. She has a podcast. Please go and check her out. And she's over on Instagram too as Knitted by Whitney. She very kindly asked me for my address because she wanted to send me a package. This was a little while ago. And it arrived just as we were leaving the old place. Not that it would have mattered because our mail's redirected, so it would have found its way here anyway. But it arrived just in time as we were packing up and leaving. And she was so kind. She sent me some goodies, some of which I have consumed. But she's over in Canada and she sent me a coffee crisp. It was amazing. So it was a bit like a Kit Kat, I guess, over here in the UK, but it was coffee flavour. Oh my gosh, it was divine. I had to share it with Dan. Stupidly opened it one evening and he was like, what's that? What have you got over there? What does that taste like? I said, damn it, fine. Do you want a bite? And then obviously when you offer somebody a bite, they take the biggest bite. I mean, he probably did me some favours. I probably shouldn't eat a whole one. But anyway, I'm digressing. She also sent me a crunchy bar and another chocolatey bar that I can't remember the name of. She sent me some tomato ketchup flavoured crisps, which I'm really excited to try. I haven't tried those yet. She sent some yarn for socks for WMAS, and I'm really going to try and get those ones knitted up when I find the yarn. And she also sent me a couple of friends things, which I thought was so thoughtful. So Whitney loves reading. I believe she works in a library, and I love reading, although I don't do as much as I should. She sent me this really lovely bookmark of Friends. I love it. I don't actually have many bookmarks. I have like a couple of magnetic ones that stick between the pages, but they're not that good. And I love a good like traditional bookmark with a tassel. They're just not around a lot these days. So thank you, Whitney. I very much appreciate that. And these are going to be so fun for my my desk. She sent me some Friends trivia quiz coasters. How fun are they? I have never seen these before. But they have questions on one side and the questions are worth points. So one of them is a fan, you get 1 point if you get the question right. And then the other question is for super fans and you get 2 points if you get those questions right. So I'm so excited to try these. I'm going to put them in the top drawer of my desk. And every time I come up here, I'm going to get one out. I'm going to try and choose a different one. And I'll probably share them over with you on Instagram because I just thought that was so fun and I'm so thankful. So thank you, Whitney. And the yarn you donated is very kindly in a box somewhere, but I'll show that when I knit them up. Yeah, what else? I was ordering a few things for some friends. So I decided, well, I didn't decide. Natalie from Blush Yarns decided, or she messaged me a little while ago and said, do you fancy doing an advent swap? And I was like, absolutely, yes, please, that would be amazing. So I'd obviously already bought a couple of advents, but you can never have too many advents, right? This is, fun fact, this is my first year of having a yarn advent, because last year, I mean, I've been into knitting for a few years, but I didn't even know it was a thing. Last year, I think I knew about them, but I was a bit late. All of the ones that I wanted were out of stock. There were a few overseas, but to get them here in time, the customs fees and the delivery fees, I was like, do you know what? That's a lot of money. I'm not going to bother. But me and Natalie of Blush Yarns are doing a swap, and I'm very excited about that. She so kindly actually said, oh, I'm doing I'm doing a swap with you, but I'm just going to send you one of my advents that she makes up, that she sells over at Blush Yarns. Oh, I was like, I love you. You're amazing. So that's so kind of her. That is in the post and on its way to me, which I'm so excited about. I cannot wait. But anyway, I was trying to tell you, I was doing up Natalie's box of her advent, and I'm sorry, can you hear that dog? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so rude interrupting. And in our knit group, we were also doing a kind of holiday theme exchange, if you like. So the lovely Cornelia kind of took charge. She was really good, because we were all kind of umming and ahhing and, you know, saying, oh yeah, we should do it. But time was running out, and I guess none of us just got to it. But Cornelia did, and she paired us all up, and we were given another person in our group that wanted to take part. She had created a Google form, so you could put in your likes and dislikes and, you know, your holiday themed colours and all of this. And so I was given my partner, and it's not necessarily a surprise, but the other person doesn't know until you ask them for their address. Luckily for me, I have contacts within my knit group, and I didn't need to ask for the address, so it's going to be a surprise. Sorry, I just kicked the tripod. It's going to be a surprise for the person that receives my package, so hopefully that gets to you soon. But what I was trying to explain, a very long-winded story, was I was ordering things for them to go in their packages, and I saw this really cute little notions pouch. Can you guess where it's from? Yes, it's from Gibby Russo's, because I love all of their bags. It's got a really nice box bottom, and I love this cute little tassel that's on here, and the golden parts are quite shimmery. Really cute. Just a zipper, really nice and simple. Inside is just a clear fabric, and here is their little, sorry, not a clear fabric, but a neutral fabric. And here is their little sign. So I love that, thought it was really sweet. I'm gonna probably transition over to that soon, because I'm feeling oh so festive over here, which drives Dan nuts, because he's like Scrooge. He's like, oh, Christmas is for kids, you know, we're adults now, it's no fun. And I'm like, we wish you a Merry Christmas. And he hates it. Never did I think I would be singing on the podcast, but you know. Okay. Gosh, I'm now all embarrassed. Like, do I edit that out? Okay, I acquired that. What else did I acquire? My parents went on holiday, as I said before, and I'm going to dive into my basket and I'm going to get something that they found. So they went to my parents, they just wander. Sorry, Mum and Dad, but you're just wanderers. They were wandering when they were on holiday, so they went to Cyprus. Oh gosh, I'm all tangled, guys, in my Shawlography colours. Yes, they went to Cyprus October sometime, because we were all supposed to be in Florida, couldn't go because America hadn't opened their borders yet because of COVID, yada yada yada. We ended up not going on holiday because we were moving, and there was a lot going on here. So Mum and Dad still wanted a break, which was fair, and so they went to Cyprus. They were walking around because they just wander, and they came across a craft fair, which was lucky for me, and they found this. It's got stellina in it. It's very glittery. It's a rainbow cake, obviously. It is by Flo's Yarn Basket. It's custom made gradient yarn cake, ideal for crochet and knitting projects. It's 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, and the colour is Prism. It's a 4-ply and it is 2,250 metres in length. I have no idea what I'm going to make for this, with this even. It's not a very plied yarn. It's very, what's the word, splitty. Like I say, it's not plied at all. It's basically just 4 strands held together. It came with this cute little paw on it. I don't know if Mum and Dad chose that or whether it just came with that one. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking a blanket or something, but it's got cotton, 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. So I'm not sure, but the right project will come along. I'm not too stressed about it. This is the lady's card. She does ship worldwide, apparently. And she is the Yarn Basket by Flo on Facebook, and she is Flo Yarn Basket over on Instagram, which I haven't checked out actually, so I must go over there and check that out. But thank you, Mum and Dad. It's very kind of you. They randomly saw it and bought it for me, and yeah, it's nice, bright and colourful. I'm sure I'll make something with that at some point. So what else did I acquire? I've talked about that. So, because I am ridiculous, signed up for another test knit, obviously. Well, I guess I wasn't technically in full test knit mode. The designer messaged me and said, look, do you want to test knit this? I'm looking for some more test knitters. I'd really appreciate if you'd take part. So I said yes. So the lovely Brie over at Doodlebug Yarn Co. Doodlebug Yarn Co? That is you, isn't it, Brie? I'm going to put you here. And I'll obviously tag her down below. She has got a pattern. Now, I haven't got a picture of it with me because the pattern is downstairs, but I'll put a picture here of some mittens. They are called Alpaca My Knit Mitts. I get that wrong every time. Alpaca My Knit Mitts. And the lovely Brie has designed this pattern. It's beautiful. This pattern in 100% alpaca yarn for 4-ply, right? Yes. I don't have any on my stash. Darn, I had to order some more yarn. So Brie's very kindly actually sending me some from her mother-in-law's alpaca farm, which is Rockstar Alpacas, I think. I'll double check, put it here. So she's very kindly sending me some, but I don't know if it will arrive in time for the test knit. You know what the mail's like right now, and she's over in California. I'm obviously here in the UK. So I decided to order some and make a pair, and then I can make myself another pair. Or I could gift these ones. Mum would probably quite like them. Probably shouldn't have said that on here because she's going to watch and now expect them. Don't hold your breath, Mum. But it needed 2 contrasting colours, 1 lighter, 1 darker. So I chose these. These are super soft. Here I am again with my commercial yarn, everyone. Are you proud? So this is Drops Nord. And it is alpaca and wool. Where does it tell me? Oh, here. 45% alpaca, 30% polyamide, 25% wool. So each ball is 50 grams and you get 170 meters or 186 yards. So I chose this color, which is 3, which is like a gray, really. It's getting a bit blown out. It's kind of a light gray. And then this is obviously the same content because it's the same yarn, but this is in color 9 and this is a bluey. Yeah, look there. There's the best representation. So I've got 2 each of these and I need to get started. The deadline is near the end of November, but she did say, like, don't stress, so just, you know, if you can't make that deadline, it's fine. I just wanted to have somebody else to test knit them. So I'm going to do that. I need to gauge swatch and see what size needle I'm going to use. So I have got, I think it's 2.5 and 2.75 recommended, but I know a lot of the other testers have gone down a needle size, so to me I probably will need to too. So I've got my 2.5s ready. I don't love these, I'm not going to lie. These are the Knit Pro Symphony wooden needles. I don't like the join. between the needle and the cable, but I don't think, I need to check. I don't think I have a 2.5 in the Chow Goose. But also I do have these that someone kindly sent to me a while ago from Knit Group when I was in Love and Stitches. So if I can get my gauge down to a 2.25 needle, I might use these collage square needles and do magic loop. So the needles are square, basically. I've not used them yet. The lady couldn't get on with them. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. I'm terrible at names, but they're a square needle. Probably can't really see that very well. And they're supposed to be quite good for your wrists and whatnot. Easier on the hands and gives you more uniform stitches. So these aren't available to me here in the UK, and we were talking about them one day and I was like, oh, I'd really like to try them. And then this lady messaged me and was like, oh, I actually have a pair that I didn't get on with if you'd like to try them. And I was like, oh, that's really kind of you, thank you. And she also sent me some yarn. People are so kind, like this knitting community is amazing and I'm so thankful to be a part of it. It literally, like, obviously I love knitting, but I think the community just makes it so fun. So I've got those in here. I ordered these from Wool Warehouse. They were actually in a sale, which was quite nice. It wasn't an expensive purchase, which pleased Dan. Yeah, when we moved it was a bit like, Lucy, how much yarn do you actually have? His mum was literally like, there's another box here, it says spare room. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. She was like, it's really light. And I'm like, yeah, it's got yarn in it. Lucy, there's another light box. I'm like, yeah, it's more yarn. She's like, you have about 6. And I'm like, I know. I think as you realise, when we were in the flat, I was just kind of putting it away in places, and then when you realise, when you get it all together, you're like, oh gosh, maybe I do have a problem. It's not a problem, it'll all get used, right? I tell myself it's not like I have a limited time to use it. It's not going to expire. Anyway, yes, I might have a yarn problem, but there's worse problems to have, right? I don't really drink that much. I don't have any other expensive hobbies, so why not? Anyway, I'm waffling. Couple of other things. The giveaway. The very lovely Laura over at Penrose Knits. I can't talk about her highly enough. I just love her. I love her and her designs, and she is currently just smashing it with her designs. She has very kindly offered a full set of her school run. Sorry, I got distracted by looking out the window. Hey, a full set of her school run collection patterns for one of you to try. So that will include the pattern for the hat, the mitts and the headband, you lucky things. And we're going to do that giveaway this episode. So down below in the comments, if you would like to be entered into the giveaway, please tell me your favourite thing about the holidays. So it could be Christmas, it could be Hanukkah, it could be, I don't know any other I don't know any other holidays really that go on at this time of the year. So either tell me your favourite thing about the holidays, or tell me what holiday you celebrate, because I am also keen to learn about other holidays and other religious traditions that people have at this time of year. Pop that comment down below. I will do a random generated pick for the comments, and the lovely Laura will send you over the whole school run collection pattern. The whole school run collection of patterns. Right? Yeah, you'll get all 3 patterns. My brain, seriously. I need more coffee. I've only had one today, so that'll be why. I was trying to be good and not have one while I podcast, because recently when I drink a coffee, like, my stomach makes the weirdest noises and it's never pleasant for the podcast. And now I wear the microphone, I think it's picked up more easily. So I was like, no coffee, just water. Wait until you're done and then you can reward yourself with one, because it's really cold here, so it would be nice to go sit down with a coffee. However, I have reached the end of the podcast. Thank you so much if you managed to sit through it for this long. I am going to talk about life and housey stuff, so if you're not here for that and you were here for just the knitting, then thank you and goodbye. I will hope to see you again next time. If you're here for the housey stuff and the lifey stuff, then stick around. Okay, we're in. We're mostly unpacked. The yarn room isn't, or the spare room, sorry Dan, isn't unpacked really, because I've got some furniture and things that we need to sort in here. But yeah, it went well. We moved in. We got the keys on the Friday, the 5th of November. We came over that afternoon. It was quite late in the day. It was like 3:30 that we got the keys. So we literally pitched up outside the solicitors. The estate agents, like, right, where are my keys? And they were like, well, they're not ready to be released yet. I'm like, it's 3:30. You go home in an hour and a half. Give me the keys. Not in that tone, obviously. They were just doing their job. But I was getting very impatient. Once you've waited for that long and then they say, oh no, there's going to be a delay by a week, and then you don't hear anything from them, and I've called them and they didn't get back to me, and they were like, we'll call you right away to let you know what time we'll have the keys. And yeah, that was a little bit frustrating, but I think that's just me. It's not their fault really. So yes, we got the keys, we came over, we cleaned, we got it all tidy and ready, and then Dan's parents came over after work and we showed them around and, you know, got their opinion, see what they thought. I mean, it was a bit late by this point, but yeah, they seemed to like it. We ordered pizza, we sat on the floor, we ate pizza, and we watched our neighbours' fireworks out the back door, because the neighbours a couple of doors down were doing some fireworks, which was quite nice. Yeah, not much else going on. We've got a lot of boxes in the garage because the kitchen here is bigger than the kitchen in the old place, but it isn't very well laid out, and it doesn't have very many cupboards, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. We have just put the things that we don't use on a daily basis back in the garage in boxes, and when the kitchen has been renovated, we will have more cupboard space. So that's that. We have got work is already starting today. We've got a plumber coming in and just doing shimmying around of plumbing. I don't know. Can you tell? I'm just here. I've just let them in. I'm like, yeah, you're meant to be here. Cool, come on in. I'll make you a cup of tea and give you a biscuit. Dan kind of deals with the most of it. But no, basically he's putting some plumbing in the garage, so we can have a utility area in the garage, because we will not have enough space in the kitchen for both a washer, dryer and dishwasher. So for the past week I have been washing up with my hands, old school style, and it's made my hands really dry. Now I really sound pathetic, but it has. And I think when you're not used to doing that and you've had the dishwasher, it's really hard to go back. So he's coming today to do that, so I'm hoping Dan, when he gets home, will do that straight away. So we've got the dishwasher in place, fingers crossed. And then a builder is supposed to be coming over at some point to advise us on the best way to do things. We initially only planned to really renovate the kitchen and knock through to the back end of the garage and create a dining space, because we don't have a dining space here. The previous owners were using the living room as a living diner. It's not really big enough for that. I don't know how they managed it, to be honest. Maybe we just have too much furniture, I'm not sure. But that won't work for us, and we want a bigger dining space so that we can have people over and host, you know, Sunday roasts and Christmas and all of that. Not this year. That's not going to happen for this year. I have already told the people that would potentially be our guests that no, you're not coming this year, because it's just not going to be ready. But yeah, it will get started and it will get done, and we're very excited. We're going to decorate every room. This room will probably be the first, because I do not like this sage green colour very much. I mean, it's not really even sage green. It's a mix between sage green and lime green, and I'm not a big fan of the wallpaper. So I sound really picky. I'm not. So this room will get done first, because it's probably, well, it is the smallest, and there's no point decorating downstairs with all the knocking through that's going on. So we'll start upstairs, we'll do this room, we'll do our master room, and then we're going to do a few bits in the bathroom, but the bathroom is fairly new. It's not been there too long. So I am going to give you a little house tour if you're interested. I know a few people did say yes, they love looking around people's houses and being really nosy. So I'm going to pause here and then I'm going to go and run around my house and make sure it's semi-tidy just so I can show you. And then I'll be back to give you a little tour. Okay, real life house tour. Ignore the mess. I've been cleaning this morning, but you know, it is what it is. So we're at the front door. Here we have a lovely rubbish cupboard. That's got the boiler. It's not very exciting. Not the best place to start. We have got a toilet in here. Again, not very exciting. Got some coats hanging up, all of that fun stuff. Here's our kitchen. So it is quite small in comparison to, well, it's not smaller than what we had, but cupboard wise, there aren't very many cupboards. As you can see, my cleaning stuff out. Wash machine here, that's where I would like the dishwasher to go. There's my dishes that I just washed up. Yeah, not a great deal of space, not a fan of the brown, so this is all getting ripped out. Then you come into the lounge, which is in here. Now, it's a bit higgledy-piggledy because I've had to move some things out of cupboards for the boiler guy, the plumber guy. But yes, this is, I could have probably puffed up the cushions for you, but this is our sofa. Again, I think it's a bit big for the space, but it worked well in our old place, and until we are finished with the space, we are not going to buy a new one. And then the TV over here, not that exciting. So ideally at first we weren't going to put the TV under the stair space. We were going to put the TV over here where my ironing board is, and have the sofa go the other way, but it didn't fit. So that's what it's like for now. Yeah, some laundry that can't go in the dryer hanging up. Garden, I'm not going to take you out there because I think my neighbours will think I'm absolutely crazy if I'm talking to myself. Goes around the corner a little bit, and that's where the garage is. So this will also probably totally get rejigged. I'd like a bit more grass out there, a little less these raised beds and things. The decking needs redoing and all of that jazz. This is the stairs, obviously. Let me show you firstly what our initial plans were. So here is obviously just a blank wall. That's the garage the other side of there. So we are knocking a bit of this down and making doors into the garage, and then the back end of the garage is going to become the dining room. That was our original plan, and to rip out the kitchen and give it a new kitchen. Dan's parents, however, think it would be a really good idea to knock this wall out and make this open plan kitchen diner, and then maybe make that the lounge. I don't know if that's going to be big enough to be the lounge when you take part of the garage away, so I think we're going to see when we knock through. If not, that will still be a diner, and then this I think will be a kitchen lounge with a kind of breakfast bar to separate it, I believe. But who knows, these things never go to plan, do they? So up the stairs, little area here where I've got my plant, which I'm pretty sure I'm killing because its leaves keep going orange. Look, and they keep falling off. Don't know what I'm doing to that, but the mirror. And then the bathroom, not very big, but it's got a bath, shower over, basin and all of that. This is fairly new, so I think maybe a couple of things in here. Get a vanity unit for under the sink, and yeah, I don't really know what else. I haven't really thought about that. Maybe a different floor, not sure. This is my yarn room. This is the messiest room. So a couple of boxes that I opened and thought, oh my goodness, I have no idea where I'm going to put that stuff. Quickly close them. This is all yarn stuff. I know, bad. This here, this is a bully book, I can't even speak now, a Billy book case. I went to IKEA at the weekend with my parents, and that needs to be assembled. I bought myself this desk too when I was in IKEA. I think I'm going to move it so that it goes under the window, just because I'm purely nosy and would quite like to look out the window while I'm working. So, well, working, I call it working. And then this is the aftermath of podcasting, so just a bit of mess, projects everywhere, and stuff. And I forgot to show you these advents, so I'm going to come back and show you those in a sec. So that's this room. It's going to have a day bed in here too, which is going to extend out to a double for if we have guests. And our bedroom. So yeah, not much to show you. It's got this wallpaper, which I do quite like, but we'll probably change. And then our bed, and we've put our chest of drawers here. We've got the double windows out to the back garden. The only thing I don't particularly like is this weird wardrobe thing they've got going on, which has got curtains. So this is all going to get ripped out, and this is going to have built-in wardrobes instead. And then we've got this really weird cupboard. I don't know how tidy it is. Yeah, it's okay. And it's just got stuff in it. But this is like an over the stairs cupboard. So they used it for hanging space because they've obviously got that up there. But I don't know what we'll do with that yet. Who knows? But that's it. There's not much else to show you. We have a loft, obviously, which we're going to potentially look at converting. I know it has to be a certain height at the highest point, so that might not be doable, but we will see. But for now, that is it. Hello, I'm back. So that was the house tour. Nothing too exciting. I just think it would be really fun to have the before, and then once we've done all the work, have the after and show you, because it will be nice to have that comparison. So a couple of things I didn't show you in acquisitions that I cannot believe that I forgot about are my advents. So I'm not really revealing any secrets here, but I will tell you which ones I have before I show them. I have the Castle View Yarns 20-gram sock advent, and I have the Yarn for the Soul 20-gram sock advent. I think it is. Pretty sure. They're obviously not unwrapped, it's an advent, but I'm going to show what was included in them. So this is the Castle View Yarns. Very exciting. I opted for 20-gram minis, which are all very nicely packaged with numbers, obviously advent style. It's got some candy, as I don't even know where I was going with that. It's got some candy scattered around in it, some sweets, and I don't know if it was optional, but I got the skein for the 25th, and I also chose the project bag. So I think I'm probably going to open the project bag on the 1st along with number 1, and then I'm going to probably store them in the bag until I know what to do with them. I'm not sure what I want to make with them yet. I'm not sure if I want to see all of the colours first, or if I want to, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to sit down. I've got some admin to do, so I'm going to sit down, have a little think about that, maybe look on Ravelry. So yeah, got the 20-gram sock advent. So they're 75 merino, 25 nylon, and you get 85 meters per 20 grams. And this is a little envelope with the colorways. So that's super duper exciting. I popped that one in this hamper type basket. And then the second one is still in its box it arrived in, because I haven't yet found the rest of the boxes. I think they're in the garage. So this is from Yarn for the Soul. This is the lovely Katie. This is a 4-ply luxury advent calendar. Each mini skein is 20 grams and 85 meters, and it's a 75-25 blend as well. So yeah, they're all in numbered bags. They're yellow and blue, so I need to find a box for those. And whoa, I'm dropping things. And that is my second one. I have then got one, like I said, coming from Natalie at Blush Yarns, and I've got my tea advent calendar from Bird and Blend, which I'm super excited about this year. And that's it. I did almost order the Kate Celine. It's not really an advent, but it's like a mini scrappy lucky dip bag thing. I did nearly order that, but I don't need it, so I'm not going to. I'm going to try and be good and control myself, but I'm not making any promises. I can hear another train, so apologies. But I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for sticking around this long if you have. I really appreciate you watching. I don't think that there will be a podcast next week. I think I'm going to stick with fortnightly podcasts because they seem to be very repetitive weekly and I haven't made enough progress to really share with you. So fortnightly for podcasts, but we'll probably get some bonus episodes in between. I think next week I'm going to do a yarn room organisation / stash video. Stash, that was tricky. So I think I'm going to share my yarn with you, I'm going to organise it, yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm going to get building this Billy bookcase and then I will have the space to share that with you. But for now, I hope you have a good couple of weeks, happy knitting, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye!